Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Goosebump Moment Presents. Today we're returning another former interviewee, but this time she's got something new that she's going to be sharing with us, and it's actually something I strongly support. I'll be very honest. I do strongly support this. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Deborah Deborah Laurel. Deborah, thank you. Thank you for coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me. I really appreciate this.
And then we have our always present Kat Hurd, who always comes and supports whatever guest I have. She always is great at supporting these people on here, and that is so much appreciative. So, Kat, thank you for coming. Yeah, okay. She's not going to talk. She's just going to shake her head. Okay. So, Deborah, let's talk about what you got here, what you're here for to talk about.
Well, I'm here to talk about my new weekly program called First Aid for New Trainers.
I love the title. I love it.
Thank you. The participants who came to the inaugural session 2 weeks ago were attracted by the name because sometimes it can get very trying to be a trainer.
Okay, let's talk about that because you and I were talking about that before we went live here. Would you say a trainer? What specifically type of trainers are you looking for?
My focus is to help new trainers, to help solo trainers who have no one else to talk to, and to help what I'm calling accidental trainers, subject matter experts who know their area and because of that have been tapped to be trainers, but don't understand how adults learn and are likely to just lecture, which we know is not the most effective way to build other people's skills.
Correct. That is correct. Okay. So let me see if I can help the audience here just a little. We're not talking about just trainers inside a company whose sole role is to train staff. We're also talking about such as perhaps, and correct me if I'm wrong, business strategists, business advisors, coaches, that kind of thing. Is that also what we're talking about?
I don't know whether we would call them advisors or coaches, but they could be training consultants who have their own business or are trying to become trainers in their own business or some corporate setting.
Okay. So tell us a little about what the course is going to contain. What are we looking to extract from your course?
Okay. Well, each session stands alone. They meet Wednesdays from 3 to 4 on Central Time. And they're for an hour. And the first half hour is spent focusing on a topic that is either a basic training topic or a basic challenge that trainers typically face, whether they're new or experienced trainers. And the second half of the hour is focused on answering any training related questions.
Okay.
I have created a year-long schedule. We began with looking at how to get participant buy-in, because sometimes people are voluntold to go to a training program, and that's not the best situation for a trainer who has thought very carefully about what the training should be about and what they want to accomplish. But if people don't buy into that, then it can be a real problem. Okay. The second session that we just had was how to get past participant resistance when it's really an active resistance, sitting there like this, whether they're online or digitally or in the classroom, and to understand what's causing that resistance and how to get past it. This upcoming session on the 25th is going to be looking at how to get virtual participants to actively engage, which is a big issue because, as we know,
Yeah, major issue.
it's very difficult to work against all of the distractions. I mean, I have a cat in the background, people have children in the background, and there may be other reasons why the person is distracted or disengaged. And so we're going to be looking at a good 8 different things that people can do to get past that problem. So in upcoming sessions, we're going to look at when not to lecture, or how to handle hybrid training situations, or why every training program needs 2 goals, and how to identify learning objectives. So it's covering quite a range. I have a 4-hour, a 5-hour, and a 6-hour train the trainer, and I have pulled from that all of the tips and content that I would normally share in those intensive situations in these different weekly sessions.
Okay, very cool. What is there a cost?
The first session is free. I
Okay.
want people to come see if it's going to meet their needs, if they're comfortable. Any future sessions are $25 plus a
Oh,
booking,
wow.
plus a
Very
booking.
affordable. Very affordable.
That's the intention.
Good.
And I guess it might be useful for me to say at this point that I believe I should have some credibility in the training industry. I have been training for over 35 years, actually many more years than over 35 years. I have designed and delivered highly rated skill building and attitude changing workshops for the public and private sector, both nationally and internationally. And I have trained and certified trainers in Kenya, Zambia, Nigeria, Jordan, Croatia, United Arab Emirates. So I think I have a greater following in Jordan than I may even have in the United States.
I think, Deborah, they call that pedigreed.
I thought that was only for dogs, but
No,
I'll
no,
take
no, no, no. It also talks to the professional, and that speaks highly not only to your background, because you do have a corporate background, but it also talks to your 35 plus years in training. And I will even support you even more here because there's not enough training, proper training that is going on out there in the world of business at all, and it doesn't matter what genre you're in. It becomes too lazy, lackadaisical, not enough quality content that people are delivering. It's just bits and pieces here and there. So I'm applauding you for recognizing this and actually bringing and delivering something. And after the show, we need to have a talk. Yeah, seriously, because I doing what you just said that this program is about. Kat and I had a conversation this morning, and it raised a little flag. So we're going to be talking about that. Okay, so is there a registration? Do they have to pre-register for this, and how do they go about getting in? And I will, as you talk, I will type and put it on the ticker down below.
Oh dear. Kat, you may need to speak for this.
It's on Eventbrite. If you give me 2 seconds, I will grab the link and I will drop it in the chat, EBJ.
Oh, great. And while you're doing that, we have some comments. Oh, Kat made some comments. So we'll show Kat's comments up here.
Is someone who runs workshops a trainer? Yes.
Oh, do you want me to go back here? Yeah, welcome back. Okay. There you go. You got a fan there, Deborah. You got
Thank you very much, Kat. I appreciate that. That's Kat Leslie.
Yes, it is. Who, by the way, has been on the show a couple of times, and on the year-long program that I'm doing, she's going to be featured as one of our master trainers herself. So very cool. Did you put it in the chat? I don't see it. Kat?
We can't hear you. She's working at it. But to answer your question, yes, there is registration. If they go to my LinkedIn page, they will see a post that
Okay.
includes that information right there.
Okay.
It also includes a link to the weekly topics so that people can pick and choose what pertains to them, what they think would be most useful.
All right. And just verbally, I have it down below on the ticker, but verbally remind everybody what your LinkedIn tag is.
I'm waiting for it to
Here we go. Yeah, here we go. This is
All right,
the
here's-
Eventbrite page.
Here's the Eventbrite page. Yes.
Okay.
I've also dropped it into the chat on Facebook as well, and I'll do the same on the other channels.
Okay.
Thank you
Pleasure.
Okay.
very much.
And then let me go back to the brand, or no, the banner, and I
So
will.
LinkedIn is at Deborah-Laurel, Laurel.
Okay, and there's the new one.
Thank you.
There you go. There's the Eventbrite page. That's lovely. That actually is very lovely.
Perfect. Very perfect.
There you are. Yeah, that is perfect. Okay. So you say the classes will run about an hour, you said?
They run an hour. That's right. I am recording them, and then they are being posted on my website, laurelandassociates.com, so that people who miss it can catch up on them.
Okay. And again, I just want to make sure everybody understands so there's no misunderstanding. Laurel is Laurel. It's
Right.
not, that's the proper spelling. So it's laurelandassociates.com.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So guys, if you're interested, I strongly encourage you. This sounds like a fabulous workshop. And let me reiterate something I always say. And if you know me for any length of time, you know this is part of my mantra. Never stop learning until you're 6 feet in the ground. And I don't care if you think you don't have an interest or have a need. There's always some place at any one given time, any tidbit of information or education you get, you can apply somewhere down the road in any situation. So don't, I mean, when what'd you say, $27?
$25 plus the
$25.
booking fee. Mm-hmm.
That is an investment in you, and that is an investment in your business. It's an investment in your company if you represent one. Learning is important, and we all need to every day work on our skills. It's a skill set, and it's something that you can take and you can teach and you can refer Deb to if you find that you like her content and you're learning. That's important, everybody. I'm preaching now, aren't I? But I can't stress that enough. It's terribly important. So, okay, Deb, is there anything else that you want to mention we haven't covered?
I just want to say that in the sessions, I'm modeling what I'm teaching. So not only are you learning what to do, but hopefully you're seeing how to do it.
Wonderful.
That's the intent. So these are highly interactive. This is not a lecture format.
We were talking about that pre-interview before as well, were we not?
Yes.
Let's speak to that just a fraction of a second. when people get on these networking calls, or they get on a training, or they get on a Zoom, let's talk about your participation as a participant. Talk about that.
Well, it really falls to the trainer. Has the trainer set it up so that people understand participation is important? Has the trainer primed people to participate? Because there are some activities we can use that will subconsciously prime people to participate. Do we make sure that we have learning activities that are interactive every 5 or 10 minutes so that people, particularly here, we're talking about virtual training and how important that is.
Mm-hmm.
So, if participants aren't participating, the first place we need to look at is ourselves as trainers. Was that designed well? Is there some logical flow? Are we keeping them visually stimulated? Because virtual training is a visual training. We need to be changing the slides every minute or so, unless we're stopped to do some activity on that slide.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really fault participants. I have gone to workshops where I'm engaged entirely, and I might have my cat and I might have a bunch of other things going on, but I'm really focused on what I'm learning and what's being taught and what I'm being asked to do. There are other ones where when it's a lecture and it goes on and on and on, and I'm being told things that I already know myself, so that I'm being insulted to a certain degree because I haven't been asked. I mean, that's one of the things that I train trainers, particularly if you have always done a lecture. There are two things that you can do right away to make it more interactive. First, instead of talking, make it a question. Ask the question. Either people have the answer or they don't, or they have part of the answer and you can provide the rest. Or take your key points and turn it into a questionnaire and have people go to a breakout room and work through the answers. And then you can use that to structure your entire training. So lecture, I'm not saying lecture isn't appropriate in some situations. What my rule of thumb is, if anybody in the class is likely to know it, lecturing is verboten.
I couldn't agree with you more. Again, just giving some examples here, coming from my speaking background. As the person on the stage, it's not about me, and as a host, it's not about you. It or your trainer. It's actually not about you. It's about the content. It's about engaging the audience. It's about perking up their ears, asking questions they never expected, and planning out some of the stuff, making them think. Um, and that kind of stuff to get their reaction. That's 100% exactly what a good speaker should be doing as well. So very much alike. Yeah, very much. Okay, anybody else have anything you want to contribute? Kat, do you have anything? You work with Deb closely. Do you have
I
anything
do.
that
What I want to emphasize is Deb's training is incredible. She is very good at what she does. And if you've never experienced one of her sessions, you really need to. So I want Deb to kind of, I know the answer, but I don't know if the audience do. So in terms of the training that you're delivering, are the skills transferable between those trainers that train online and those trainers that train in person?
Many of the skills are transferable because adults learn. There are various things that are true about how adults learn that are going to be the same, whether it's virtual or it's classroom. How we design the training is going to, there are certain basic things. We need goals, we need learning objectives, we need learning activities. The tools we'll use to accomplish that are going to be different because we are actually pretty restrained in terms of the number of tools and options that we have online versus what we can do in a classroom.
Right.
But we still are aiming to accomplish some clear, specific, observable, measurable learning objectives. And there is a clear goal that when people leave this training, they should be able to X, or when people leave this training, they should know about Y. So that was a wonderful question. Thank you. Thank you, Kat.
As you can see on the screen, everybody, Ellie Lowther has joined us. Ellie and I, my gosh, it's been a while. It's been a minute, Ellie. We need to catch back up. But Ellie is a fascinating lady, and I would love to be able to have her on the show sometime. Hint, hint, Ellie, get a hold of me. And I believe she's in Scotland as well. I'm not positive about that, of her location. If I've misspoken, I apologize, Ellie. But thank you for dropping by and showing up and getting yourself put on the show. All right. And Kat just made another wonderful comment, and that is important. You got to know your audience. You know, if you're speaking to a bunch of people who have no interest, then what you're messaging out isn't going to connect at all. So you do have to know your audience. All right, ladies, is there anything else you have to say?
Deb,
No,
do you want to tell everybody when your session is again?
My session is on Wednesdays from 3 to 4 o'clock Central Time. And it meets every Wednesday with very few exceptions. And if you go to any of the contact locations that have been put in the screen, you will find out what the different topics are so that you can drop in whenever the topic is relevant to you.
Okay. So again, one more time, laurelandassociates.com. Is that where, and that's where they go to register, correct? No, it's on Eventbrite. My mistake.
On Eventbrite. That's
Okay.
right.
All right. So let me pull that up. And we'll show that one more time before we close out. Okay, let me read that for people who may be trying to jot that down. That's www.eventbrite.com/E/429-309-2687. Okay.
Right.
So
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So much for having me. I really appreciate that.
You are welcome back anytime, my friend, because you have a lot of wisdom and a lot of skill that people need to learn about and learn from. So you are invited back anytime you want to come, my friend.
Thank you.
Anytime, anytime. Yes. All right, Kat, do you have any last words?
Keep up the good work, Deborah.
Yep. Amen.
Kat, thank you for your continual support.
Okay,
Bye.
now I'm gonna do my little advertisement at the moment here. Don't forget, how healthy is your business? This is also a year-long educational informational training class I'm doing the third Thursday of each month, 12 noon Central, 6 p.m. UK time. And we're going to be talking about the internal workings of your business. This isn't about lead generation. This isn't about a lot of stuff. Mostly what we're going to be covering and enhancing are soft skills. And they're terribly important, and how you apply them inside the workings of your business. So if you want more information, reach out to me on Facebook at BJ Stevens, or reach out to me on LinkedIn at Lady BJ Stevens, and hit me up, and I'll be more than happy to share more information about those. These are running monthly as well throughout the whole year. All right, Deb, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And wave goodbye to the audience, everybody.
Thank you for coming.